What's cracking? Slick Danger, you're now tuned into the Art of MV. Welcome back to the channel. Just a short video showing a couple of things I never showed you before, but just checking in with y'all before I go live. Got a lot of upgrades, and I've been away for a while. So let's get into it, man. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up on the way in. Put that thumbs down on the way out if you don't like it. And leave it all in the comment section for me. Now let's do some MV things up in here. Let's go. So, this is how the MV in 2025. The MV does so much that you have to you gotta kind of understand the tool set you're dealing with. So I'm gonna give you a definition that should stick with you. The MV is often compared to the MPC, but it is not. It is very un-MPC, right? It's so un-MPC that I want to make a definition of it. So, a studio is a place. It's a room. It's somewhere you go to that has a bunch of tools that you don't necessarily have sitting around the couch unless you have an MV. Because an MV is an entire studio imagined or reimagined as one instrument. Everything you would have in one studio room that you would go to and visit is in your MV. Because that's exactly what it is, imagined as an instrument, a very playable instrument. So before I get into some of the other stuff with the resample and repurpose, the similarities between these two are more than you think. This one is not made in the likeness of this one. So the VERSELAB wasn't made in the likeness of the older MV 8000, 8800s. It shares more characteristics to an MV we don't know that much. The way older MV, the one that's the MV30, Studio M. So that being said, a lot of times the sampler on here kind of gets trashed, as well as, I don't know, the overall presentation of the VERSELAB. But trust me, after a couple of years of really working on this thing, the VERSELAB has a lot of utility. I made a lot of beats about videos. Making all the videos, I think I got maybe 80 something videos that I posted. And the beats that I make are all really, really projects that I worked on to talk about the MVs.
This is a thing that you use a lot.
This was made as theme music. So, but I like this beat, so I had to find somewhere to do it, so I threw some vocals on it, and this will probably be the opening music. This will probably be the opening music.
See treasures put to use
for
trained to live knowing
Art of MV series,
made.
right?
It's your own.
It's a hard beat, you know what I mean? But I don't really rap anymore. So it wasn't much that I could do with it, right? So I threw some vocals
of production studio. And I can't think of one other instrument,
Mike Acosta,
that you could do everything from beginning to end to master.
And another guy talking about the MV on Gear Talk.
That you could deliver for distribution. You have piano rolls, you have everything else that you could possibly want in this thing. And one of the most attractive things about this, and I did a video about this, was quantizing.
Another thing too that, when when we're talking about the quantize and everything that really separated this from anything else out there was...
There's that, right? We're making beats about today about the origins of the channel and the pivot. So I originally had a bunch of footage in my phone of me working on the drum machines and me working in the studio. I don't know why, I just had it, and I had taken different pictures of my studio, and just I got this interest in the equipment that I was buying. So I saw this thing that said you could use your iOS and Android devices to stream, to do live streams. And that was this thing right here, this Roland Go Live Cast. Now, since this Go Live Cast, they've made several other Go Live Pro and other more advanced versions of this, but this thing has held steady. I only paid about $120 for it like 4 years ago, and I can actually still use it. Now, I started out with this, actually. I'm sorry. This right here, all right? This is an HDMI 2.0B video capture card. And I was like, okay, this only cost me $35, by the way, about $35, $40 on Amazon. And I tried to use it the first time, and it sounded horrible. So being a stickler for sounds, because what good is it to be talking about how good the compressor works and how capable the EQ is if you can't hear the difference in the sound when I turn a knob. And that was the case getting this basic garden variety video capture card. Whereas this, the Go Live Cast, even though I was pretty much have to use an iOS or an Android device, the sound capture was pretty accurate, and it gives me a good when I listen back to the videos myself before I put them out or after I put them on YouTube, sometimes I'm very impressed with the sound quality. And that's going to always depend on what you're feeding it. So as we move forward, you'll come to where we're feeding it, which is here. But we're going to start over. Well, we're going to start out over here. I'm going to show you these little tricks. So what goes into your MV is just as important See, what goes into your MV is just as important. So what you pair your MV with, it's like if you went to the studio, would you take your practice guitar, or would you grab your Gibson Les Paul? Or you grab the very first guitar you started with? When you went to the studio, okay, in this same sequence is this same sample. Check it out. So I chopped it up in pieces and made it into a patch where each piece is a part of the keyboard and can be played. I filtered out the organs. And that's how you make a patch out of a sample.